And here we go. The Cowboys are officially entering the danger zone. You see, this is the zone where hurt feelings and broken bridges happen, and hopefully the Cowboys are able to fix the issue at hand before the bridge becomes too broken and it becomes irreparable. You see, Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb and quarterback Dak Prescott are looking for new contracts in a contract year, and one of those guys, they're playing hardball, and I don't blame them. Adam Schefter has reported that Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, still seeking a contract extension, is not expected to attend the team's mandatory minicamp that opens today and continues this week. And like I said, I don't blame him. The Joneses have zero excuse remaining to negotiate this man's contract and get it done like yesterday. The biggest domino left to fall in the entire wide receiver market fell a whole 24 hours ago when Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings signed his 4-year, $140 million contract with $110 million guaranteed. Now, given that you have Justin Jefferson's contract sitting at that, and then you have like an Amon-Ra St. Brown coming in at $30 million a year, and an A.J. Brown coming in at $32 million a year, I think CeeDee's contract pretty much writes itself. He should be somewhere around 4 years for $136 million with $106 million guaranteed. That gives him an annual average of $34 million per season and a 78% guarantee rate on his contract, which is the same guarantee rate that Justin Jefferson got on his. You see, his contract at this point has written itself, so much so to the point to where my smooth brain ass can give you a real contract that a player in his position would likely sign. Though CeeDee Lamb's productivity when he has had Dak Prescott on the field with him may have exceeded that of a Justin Jefferson, I give you that. CeeDee Lamb did have to play half of his rookie season, or majority of his rookie season, with Cooper Rush at quarterback because Dak Prescott injured himself that season. I give you that. But guess what? As much as I will make the case that CeeDee Lamb is a better receiver or is capable of being a better receiver than a Justin Jefferson as a Cowboys fan, I would love to make that case. I try to stay on an objective base on this channel. So I know that negotiations, they don't take into account woulda, coulda, shouldas. They just don't. So I wasn't going to bring that up. We're talking about what's been put on print. And what's been put on print is Justin Jefferson is maybe a notch better, a notch more productive than CeeDee Lamb, and that's why his contract is what it is. And that's why I'm saying the Joneses, they have no excuse at this point. I don't blame CeeDee Lamb at all for holding out. He plays one of the most vulnerable positions on the entire football field at wide receiver, at a position where you can be snapped in half on any given catch if you have a defender on the other side of the ball that feels like he wants to make you have a bad day that day, right? So I would 100% hold out as well, because there's no way I'm playing that position for this team with the biggest target on our back every single week without long-term assurances and without being paid appropriately based on my productivity since I've been here. Because regardless of how you want to split it, outside of that first season in which he didn't have his starting quarterback to throw to him for a large part of that time, CeeDee Lamb is giving you top tier production, and he doesn't look to be slowing down anytime soon. In fact, I think we probably still got another maybe 1 to 2 notches of CeeDee Lamb as far as levels he can go up before we have truly seen his peak, right? So I think that CeeDee Lamb should hold out, and I think that the Cowboys should have pressure applied to the front office, not the players, because the front office at this point, they're completely dragging their feet, and there's just no reason for this. And I rarely do this on this channel. I rarely find a reason to bring Dak Prescott into a conversation for the purpose of criticizing him, but I'm going to do it in this one specific scenario. None of us like the way the Joneses do business. Just because some of us may understand how they do business and understand that they're trying to take advantage of all the attention that the team gets whenever they have these types of standoffs, and it keeps the Cowboys name circulating, and word of mouth is one of the most powerful marketing vehicles in the entire world. So the more the Cowboys are talked about, the more that cash register is going to pop out, right? So word of mouth is one of the most powerful marketing vehicles in the world, and Jerry makes full use of that by making sure that he draws out any situation with the Cowboys that can be handled in just a snap, and he draws that out. But I'm going to say this, man. With the loss of Larry Allen and the drama that's been going on this offseason, and fans having to see a long-term guy like a Tyron Smith leave and all the emotions attached with that, and just seeing all the stuff that's been happening with this team this offseason, and just all the turmoil, all the drama, all the lack of activity, just an overall lack of morale that has taken place, right? Just the overall lack of morale that has kind of taken over our fan base, just due to really not having too many things to cheer for, I guess. With all of this going on, Jerry, can we stop playing the damn games? Can you get this stuff done so fans can stop bickering and arguing and having to worry and be concerned about the future of the team? Can you please, in an offseason that's been nothing but chaos, can you please provide a moment of levity, a moment of security, a moment of stability for your entire fan base for at least a couple of months? Give us some reprieve to not have to worry the whole offseason. We're going to be worried and nervous wrecks all throughout the regular season. Give us a moment to breathe. Give us a moment to recharge and get this stuff done. Because now we're at the point where CeeDee Lamb's contract has written itself. It's not signed yet. If this man has to hold out and start losing money because you guys don't want to sign a contract that has pretty much written itself at this point, you guys don't want to call and get a contract done that is pretty much written itself at this point. And this is his first contract negotiations. And we heard even Dak Prescott say that his feelings did get kind of involved the first time around because he didn't really know what to expect. And it was new to him. And this is CeeDee's first negotiations. And we know CeeDee is already somewhat of a temperamental guy. He's a little bit, not sensitive, but you can tell CeeDee isn't the type of dude that's just ignoring everything. He feels things, right? He's an empathetic guy. You can tell that. You don't want probably your biggest weapon on your team unhappy and not fully engaged. You don't want to be shooting a blank with your biggest damn bomb. You don't want to drop a nuke and there's no warhead in the shell. You just don't. You just don't want to do that, right? Get CeeDee Lamb his money. And like I was saying, this is one scenario I would bring Dak Prescott into this and offer a little bit of criticism, because I feel like if Dak Prescott wasn't the type of leader and type of man that he was, and he wasn't going to show up regardless of what else was going on with his contract status, I feel like if he probably listened to the advice of his agent, I'm willing to bet Todd France has probably recommended that Dak Prescott holds out as well. I would be surprised if Todd France hasn't recommended that, and if he hasn't, it's probably because they have a clear understanding of when and what's going to happen with Dak Prescott, whether or not we know it or not. But this would be a moment where it's like, okay, really put pressure on these guys. You don't want to get this offseason started without your starting QB and your starting wide receiver. You just don't. You just don't want to start your offseason like that. You don't want to go into the organized team activities like that. Let's really start putting pressure on some of these guys, because the Cowboys, they're being ridiculous right now. They're being ridiculous, y'all. And it's tiresome, and it's just one of those things that just makes you shake your head and makes you just want to walk up to the Star at Frisco and just find the nearest old person that looks like Jerry Jones to choke out. And it's crazy, bro. Get this done. CeeDee Lamb deserves his money. CeeDee Lamb has been extremely productive since his rookie season. Since coming to the Cowboys, he's proven he's that dude, and he's gotten better year by year by year. There's no reason at all we should be waiting on these negotiations. That's my 2 cents on it. This is day one of the CeeDee Lamb holdout watch. We're going to keep track of these holdouts on this channel, so that way we'll have like a roadmap of being able to actually chart how long these holdouts are taking, who has to hold out, and what's going on in the midst of the holdouts. This is day one of the CeeDee Lamb holdout. Be sure to subscribe to keep track of the CeeDee Lamb watch, as I'm sure I'm going to get more and more progressively pissed off the longer the Joneses sit on their damn old ass geriatric fingers. We steal them same old damn cats.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Hey! I'm still them boys.